Hi, my name is Reggie and I'm a sophomore at Oostburg High School. Before we jump into the story of Cain and Abel, let's back up for a second and set the scene, because understanding where we are in the Bible helps us understand why the story is so important. Cain and Abel are the first children born to Adam and Eve, so this takes place right after sin enters the world in Genesis 3. God made everything good, but Adam and Eve disobeyed. So the world is broken, sin has entered the picture. Now we're going to watch a quick video about tonight's lesson.
One day, Adam and Eve told their children that in order to show gratitude to God, they would need to perform a worthy sacrifice, something special that would please their Lord. Abel immediately chose one of his best newly born lambs to offer up to God, and though it was important to him, he believed that giving it over to God was far more important than keeping it for himself. When Cain learned about his brother's selfless sacrifice, he was puzzled. He told Abel that he should sacrifice something far less significant. After all, he himself was going to sacrifice some old dried fruit that he was planning on getting rid of anyway. Other interpretations indicate that Cain was going to merely sacrifice some extra straw that he had lying around. But Abel was insistent on offering up his most treasured lamb, something in which Cain scoffed at. Why his brother was going to give away something so cherished was beyond him. But both of the brothers stuck to their guns and would go to present their respective sacrifices. In the book of Genesis, God is stated to have looked with favour upon Abel's sacrifice, but did not look with favour upon Cain's. While there doesn't seem to appear to be a vivid description from the passage as to how God made it clear he was more satisfied with one offering than the other, some interpretation of the tale use fire to represent this. The idea is that Cain and Abel both placed their offerings into a fire. Abel's lamb burned up in the fire, and the flames roared as the sacrifice was consumed. But when Cain placed his offering into the fire, the sacrifice merely smouldered, and the fire itself died down. By this telling, it's understood that Abel's sacrifice was well received by God because of the magnificent way in which it had burned. Cain's, on the other hand, did not, implying that it was not as worthy as Abel's. Cain grew jealous. He couldn't see the logic behind why God had preferred Abel's sacrifice over his. He grew angry at his brother, and it would lead him to become consumed with venomous thoughts, those of which led him to sin.
Cain and Abel, two brothers, different roles. Cain works the grounds, Abel cares for the flocks. Both brings offerings to God, but God accepts Abel's, not Cain's. Why? Abel gives with faith and from the best he has. Cain does not. That's when things start to spiral. Cain gets angry, jealous, bitter, and instead of repenting and owning up to it, he lets those emotions take over. But God notices this, and he says to Cain, "Sin is crouching at your doorway. It desires to have you, but you must rule over it." That moment, it's huge, because it's not just about Cain's anger, it's about how sin affects all of us. This is the first time in the Bible we see sin show up in relationships, in emotions, and in choices, and it teaches us something really important. Sin is always close, but we're always responsible. As we walk through the story of Cain and Abel, we'll take a look at Cain's choices, God's warning, and what it means for us. God didn't leave Cain in his struggle, and he won't leave you in yours either. Have a great night.